Hi, I'm HIX-TV's Bill Murphy. More Hicksville happenings for you as it's the second program as we're working our way towards the big Northwest Ohio Volunteer Firemen's Convention that's going to be happening here in Hicksville coming up next weekend. I believe that's the 19th and the 20th of June. Bruce Silcott is here with us once again. Last time we talked, it was a couple of weeks ago, Bruce, and things were just really starting to just get started. And as we're talking now, we're only a week away from the big event, and we've changed locations too. Before we were back in the meeting room, but we're out here in the squad bay right now, which is pretty impressive if you've never had the chance to come down and see it with all of the vehicles, the rescue units, the fire engines, and so forth. And working behind us, a lot of people that are all around us this morning, getting ready for the parade. You guys are getting a float ready today, right, Bruce?
Yeah, it is exactly right. The auxiliary is over getting their float ready for all the kids. They've got a T-shirt that they sold earlier and will be for sale at the convention. It's called The Strength Behind the Boots, and it's got a big heart, and that's kind of what the float's going to be about.
Okay.
And so it's pretty impressive what they got going on. So.
It looks like it's quite the effort. I mean, there really are a lot of people here. They're all hiding from the camera, so you can't really see it. But there's a good dozen or so people behind our camera person right now getting to work, and they're taping things up. Some of the signage that they're going to be painting today. So it's really going to be a big effort, and this is just going to be one of many floats because there actually are going to be a couple of parades, right, Bruce? But one of them is sort of just welcome to Hicksville. Let's get this thing started. But the second parade is going to be really quite an event.
Yes, there's actually about 3 different parades, I mean, if you will.
Okay.
The first parade is the Queen's Parade, and after the Queen's Contest, the NWO every year has a Queen's Pageant. And this year it's going to be at the Huber starting at 5 o'clock. Public is invited to come down and check that out. So after the Queen's Pageant, they'll have that parade, and then the fun night starts. The fun night will have just all the different fire trucks from the different locations in town, and they'll be going through town with lights and sirens. So just be aware of that. Okay, they will have their lights and sirens on. If you do happen to see one of our trucks with a blue light, that does mean that we do have an emergency.
Okay.
So I want to put that out there. I can't stress that enough. If we have a blue light, if you see a blue light, then you do need to pull over.
Okay.
Other than that, and then Saturday is the big parade that John Elwood is working on right now. We should have probably close to 200 to 300 different fire trucks in Hicksville next Saturday.
All right, great. So let's backtrack at this point just a little bit and get everybody up to speed as we are talking about, again, it's the Northwest Ohio Volunteer Firemen's and Firefighters Convention, because it covers both volunteers and the professionals. And this is an annual event that it takes place every year, but it's a different location every year. Hicksville is hosting for the first time in quite a while. So it's great to have this big event that's come back into Hicksville. It is a big 2 days. I mean, we really do have not only people from all around Northwest Ohio who are in fire and rescue, but people come from all over the country and the region to come to these things. So there are going to be people camping out, and we're expecting a lot of people in town coming up this weekend. And as Bruce mentioned, it is Friday, June the 19th, and Saturday, June the 20th. We've touched on a couple of the events, and we'll try to run through the schedule coming up here a little bit too to make sure everybody knows. But I guess the first thing, and probably the most important thing, is to stress again, a lot of fire trucks going to be moving through Hicksville, a lot of emergency vehicles. They'll be turning on their lights, they'll be ringing the sirens and the bells and so forth, and it's all in fun unless you see the blue lights or you see them preceded by the police cars, or then in that case you still need to move over, get out of the way, and let them go, because that is a bona fide, genuine run that they are on at that point. So I imagine, Bruce, really, I mean, you guys work hard. You guys are always on call. You're always ready. Kind of nice to be able to have a little bit of a change of pace and be able to enjoy yourselves, to to get together with some of your peers, and I know I've never met a firefighter yet that did not love being able to show their equipment and their knowledge off, especially to the youth and the kids in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be so many different firemen and fire apparatus here in Hicksville next weekend that you should be able to see just about anything that you want to see. And we have so many different things going on for the entire family. It's not just for firefighters. Okay. And that's something I want to stress. We did a major focus this year on the family, and we are having more and more family things this year. One thing that we added was some kids games. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have kids games both Friday and Saturday, and then we are also going to have some safety trailers. One is coming from Perrysburg Township Fire Department, and the other one we're still working on is coming from Paulding County. Okay. Firemen's Association. So there's going to be those. We've got food vendors down there at the fairgrounds. We've got a major dance down there at the fairgrounds. Water ball is next Friday. That'll start at 3 o'clock. And there's just so many different things going on next weekend. The opportunity to come out and see the different fire apparatuses and just to see what everybody around the region is using is quite impressive. And like you said, we got people from all over the region coming in. We don't know how many, but we are hoping that we have a few firefighters from our sister station in Hicksville, New York coming. So we're hopefully that we will have a few contingencies from there.
All right, and I guess another note that we want to pass along too is that Hicksville Village Council for this weekend has suspended the normal rules regarding golf carts, because a lot of the people that come to these events bring their golf carts with them when they're camping out. So they've waived a lot of the requirements for having to have a license and registration and so forth. But it's just for the weekend. So I mean, if you're watching this and you're a resident of the area and you've already got, you don't have to worry. But if you are going to be bringing in, or if you'd like to bring in a golf cart for the weekend, you don't need to worry as long as you've got it packed up and out of here by Sunday morning. So, so we wanted to pass that along as well. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of stuff going on. So. First off, I think we should probably let people know that when the paper comes out Wednesday, I think that there's going to be a schedule of events running in the Hicksville Tribune paper, and we'll try to have some information for you on HIX-TV as well, including this interview that you're watching here. But really touch on, I guess, some of the highlights. We've already really kind of mentioned some of them. Things are going to get started really here on Friday, so I guess run us through Friday and hit the highlights, Bruce. What's going to be happening?
Well, wow.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, here you go. Well, Friday morning we get started at 9 a.m. here. The registration starts, and we'll have a few fire departments coming in and doing registration at that time. But it really will pick up right around noon, noon to 3. I want to throw this out there. The Hicksville area-wide garage sales are going on that same weekend. So we're going to have a ton more people in this town besides just a fireman's convention. Watch out for those people that are doing garage sales too. But we will have them. The vendors will be coming in that morning, and they'll be setting up down at the fairgrounds. I already know that one vendor is setting up Thursday night because he's got to cook his barbecue all night long. The Queens contest actually starts at 1 o'clock, but that's preliminary stuff. The Queens contest that the public can go see is at 5. Then the water ball starts at 3. The kids games are going to go from 3 to 7. So there's all kinds of things going on that day. And then Saturday at the Huber, is the NOVFA convention meeting. Okay, and that usually lasts a couple hours, and then the big parade will start at 1:30, and we're trying to make it so that way we can have the downtown area cleared out, so that way people can sit. Now, one thing I want to stress is, if you're elderly or disabled, we will have a shuttle service from the fairgrounds to uptown, so that way you don't have to walk. Okay. And I know that way you don't have to walk, and you don't have to stress about where you're going to park. You can park down there at the fairgrounds, and we will be set. One other thing, Mix 98.1 will be here Friday 6 to 8 doing a live remote. Rick Small will be here. Keith Countryman will be doing the emceeing for the Queen's pageant, and Rick Small will be doing the emceeing for the parade.
All right. So
I know you were busy.
Yeah, a lot of people. I'll be doing the camera and commentary for HIX-TV perhaps, but yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. And again, as you mentioned, people, if you're planning on coming into Hicksville, plan on parking out at the fairgrounds. Plenty of room. What parking there is in the downtown and in the environment is going to get filled up pretty quick, and it'll be a lot easier to just go ahead and park. Again, if you have mobility issues or if you're elderly, they'll have the shuttle service available to bring you into town. And aside from that, it's good for you. It's a good, healthy walk, a nice stretch of the legs. It's not too far to come into town that way. And as you mentioned, food vendors, lots of things happening. Really, the big hubs are going to be here in the fire hall, out at the fairgrounds, the Huber, and then for the parades and so forth, the downtown area. And of course, as Bruce mentioned, with the garage sales going on, there's going to be really stuff happening all over the village for the most part. So you're not going to be far away from something happening. You're in town on Friday or Saturday this weekend. So again, we want to make sure that everybody has a good time. But watch out, there are going to be a lot of people. If you do have to drive through town, be aware, a lot more pedestrian traffic that is going to be happening. And as you mentioned, food vendors, kids games, lots of stuff going on. You'll have the shirts available. I don't know whether there are any fundraisers. I know that one of our departments in the region over in Eden had a terrific loss, and there's been a massive effort, departments all over Northwest Ohio, to help them out. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to have some people here to make a showing as well, and it'd be really great. I mean, if we get the people from New York and who knows where else.
Well, one thing that we decided, we did get a phone call from Eden, and they asked if they could sell some shirts. And being a station real close to us, we absolutely said, yes, come on down. So they will be down at the fairgrounds selling their shirts. We will have our shirts up here. The Terry Farrell Fund, which is a fund set up. He was a Hicksville, New York firefighter. He lost his life on 9/11, and a fund was set up that helps pretty much fallen firefighters' families, and they will be here at the station. We got Jamberry nails, which I don't know what it is, and Mary Kay, and that's for the ladies. They'll be down there at the fairgrounds. And then, like I said, the food vendors, and then there's also fire-related vendors. So we'll have plenty of things for just about everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend and a lot of fun. And again, you don't have to be a fireman fanatic or anything like that to be able to come and enjoy all of the things that are going to be happening. Again, the pageant going on. There's going to be dancing. There's going to be entertainment happening. So it's just going to be a lot of fun and a lot of great fellowship. And we just encourage everybody to first off, get ready, and by all means, come on out and join us. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody throughout the day on Friday and Saturday, Bruce.
Absolutely. I just want to highly encourage everyone to come out and support the convention, support us, support the auxiliaries, and just support your local vendors. We've got a few from here in town that we'd like to support, and just come on out and see what this is about, and just have a good time. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as to how well this is run, and how just much interaction there is amongst the various departments.
There's a real brotherhood, and let's face it, we owe it to them to come on out too, because where would we be if it weren't for these guys that are waiting for that phone to ring and willing to go out and do all of the great stuff that they do for ourselves and our families to keep us all safe. And it's a great way to come out to say thank you for the service that you guys do as well. So with that, we're going to wrap things up. Anything else we wanted to talk about, Bruce, that I didn't bring up? Or
I just want to say, Bill, that it's been a pleasure working with you and doing these past couple of interviews. I'm looking forward to seeing you throughout the convention. And if you need anything, just let me know. Except for generators or food, I won't help you there. But if you need anything, and I just highly encourage, once again, the residents of the region and the village of Hicksville to come out. It's for you guys too.
All right. So keep it locked here on HIX-TV, because we're going to have a lot more for you, and we'll have coverage of the events that we'll have on the station when things wrap up. Also, Mix 98.1 will have information for you bright and early Friday morning. Check out the Tribune on Wednesday for a schedule of events. And if you have any other questions, call the Firehouse. Just don't call 911 with questions about the Firemen's Convention. Just look up the number for the regular number through the Firehouse, and you can give them a call as well. We want to thank Bruce for being our liaison with HIX-TV and keeping us up to date these last couple of weeks. And again, we encourage you to come on out and be a part of the fun. It's the Northwest Ohio Volunteer Firefighters Convention. It's happening in Hicksville this Friday and Saturday, and that's what's happening in Hicksville on HIX-TV.